Okay, shall we start?
Let's start. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much to everybody for joining us today. This is the first of a series of webinars which have been designed to support and enhance the entrepreneurship and agribusiness course that's has been set up to support the amazing Go Getters Agripreneur Prize 2020. My name is Stephen Carr, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of the Agripreneurship Alliance, and I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Dr. Anne Roulin, also a co-founder of the organization and our president. And today what we hope to do is just really start the conversations between all of us, looking at what the course is about, what you can hope to achieve by participating and completing the program. And what we will be doing is providing you with some more details about what is in the program and how we can make sure that everybody has a really amazing experience in following the course and having a great outcome at the end of it, having a superb business plan, which can either support the launch of your business, or indeed, if you have an existing business, how it can actually work to upscale and grow your business and take it to the next level. As I've already mentioned, we have got some fantastic people joining us today. And I would first of all like to introduce Dixon Naftali. Dixon is the head of Generation Africa, the home of the Go Getters Agripreneur Prize. And we're really grateful that Dixon was able to join us today. Dixon is somebody who has years of experience both working within the private and public sectors across Africa, focusing on topics like telecommunications, which are obviously vital for successful agribusinesses to develop, but then looking at having experience across the agriculture and agri-food sectors. So Dixon, thank you very much for joining us today. And I would like to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for inviting me on this. I'm really glad today to launch for the launch of the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course. This is a great course, and it's part of the journey that we have had with the Go Getters Agripreneur Prize, and it's also part of the journey for our Go Getters community building, making sure that we provide education and online education, so that everybody from all corners of Africa can be part of this. So I'm really going to encourage all the participants and everybody who has been allowed to register for this course to take advantage of it and ensure that you become part of this course that is going to help you eventually build your business plan as a business and move you from ideation to startup to growth and to maturity, depending on what part of journey in your business of entrepreneurship you are. And so we're going to have a series of webinars, and these weekly webinars that will largely be directed by Entrepreneurship Alliance and also the Africa Management Institute are going to continue farming you up towards the goal of having your business plan and the 10 weeks of this course, just so that you get to understand the course very well. And I guess this week, the focus will be more on introducing you to the course, outlining the curriculum, discussing your expectations, and reviewing the registration process so that we can have as many people as possible registering. So please take advantage, go for it. The experts on this call are going to be very helpful. Listen to them, and we'll also have a Q&A session, I believe. Thank you very much, Stephen, for that opportunity to say a word.
Thank you, Dixon. The Agripreneurship Alliance is really proud to be working in partnership with the Go Getters Agripreneur Prize 2020. We think it's what you have been able to offer is an amazing opportunity for young agripreneurs from across Africa. And we are delighted that we're able to support the journey that Go Getters is on, but more importantly, being able to support the journey that the young agripreneurs themselves are also on. During this webinar, what we hope to do is, if you have any questions at any time, please use the chat function and to post your questions.
Please use the Q&A function.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Q&A function, please.
Okay, please use the Q&A question and answer function and post any questions that you may have, and we will answer those questions later on as part of this webinar. I should mention that the Agripreneurship Alliance has been working within the field of entrepreneurial support to young entrepreneurs within the agri-food sector for the last 3 or 4 years. And we have focused initially on working with partners in East Africa, developing a course that, as you know, is called the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course. But we could not have developed this course without our deep friends and partners at the African Management Institute. And as you will know, that if you've already registered for the course, or if you are thinking about registering for the course itself is hosted on an online platform which is managed by the African Management Institute. And it's an amazing learning resource that we are able to offer with our partners there. And so I would just like to invite Patricia Mena from the African Management Institute, and Patricia is the partnership manager there, to say a few words about the African Management Institute and introduce the work that you do, supporting entrepreneurs across a whole range of sectors across Africa. So Patricia, you're very welcome to join us.
Great, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Anne. Delighted to be here. As you said, AMI and the Agripreneurship Alliance have been friends for a long time. We've worked together on this Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course, and we're really excited that we have this opportunity to expand it to even more youth. So as Steve mentioned, I'm from African Management Institute, and my name is Patricia Mena, and I'm the partnerships manager there. And at AMI, we enable ambitious businesses across Africa to thrive using practical tools and training. And a lot of this is done with the support of the online platform that Steve has mentioned, and that most of you have probably already have some access to. So what we do at AMI is we work in 3 key areas. We work with leaders and entrepreneurs and managers in workplace settings to help them develop the leadership and management skills that they need to help their organizations thrive. And then we also help companies to build motivated workforces. So working with their employees and their entry-level staff to just build winning teams. And then we also run work readiness and youth programs to enable youth who are either looking to go into business or looking to kind of get into the workplace, providing them with the skills and the training that they need to be able to succeed. And one of the key ways that we work, and what is really a differentiator for us, is that we believe in the practical application of skills. So it's not just kind of the theory of learning, but really taking what you learn and applying it either in the workplace or within your business. And as you delve into the platform and as you take the webinars with Anne and Steve, that is one theme that you'll continually see, is this application of what you're learning within your business, even as you plan your business and as you launch your business. And so that's something that we continually do throughout the different courses and the different programs that we offer. And how this plays out in a typical program is you'll have a time where you have the webinar sessions or in-person sessions, post-COVID, hopefully. And that will be supplemented by the online courses and the online platform, which will give you access to different tools and resources that will enable you to download the tools and take them back within your own settings and start to apply what you're learning. And that is also supplemented with different activities and access to your peers so that you're able to interact with one another and share learnings and insights as you go through the course. And then we also provide just continual support as you continue to work through the program. So that way you're kind of not on your own, but through our account managers and the Agripreneurship Alliance team, you will continue to get support and access throughout the program. And one of the things that we get asked a lot is whether this actually works. And I think Stephen and Anne can actually attest to the fact that this has been working for a lot of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs who are making their start in agribusiness, and they have seen the impact of the program as they continually apply the tools and the learnings within their startups. And so I think I'm going to pause there because of time, but I'm happy to share more information after this. And yeah, we do look forward to seeing you on the platform and having you engage with us. Thanks, Steve and Anne.
Patricia, thank you so much for joining us today. Our partnership has been running for the last 3 years, and it's really exciting that we can support GoGetters Agripreneur Prize 2020 together through the provision of the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course. And so we could not do this without you, so thank you so much. What I want to talk about next is about the course itself. And to give you an idea of what the course looks like, what the expectations are in terms of how people can engage with the course, but also what will you actually get out of participating. So I think the first thing that I really should talk about is why entrepreneurship in agribusiness. Why is it important, do we think, to enable people to go through a learning process that explores their business? And why agri-food? Obviously, Africa has got fantastic potential for the future. Africa has got a burgeoning youth population. It's got fantastic quality of soils. It's got a ready internal market. The trade barriers between different countries and different sectors are starting to change. And this all creates an environment that means that enthusiastic, innovative, young entrepreneurs have got opportunity to develop great businesses within the agri-food sector that create good quality, safe, nutritious foods that are accessible to the people of Africa, to look at potential for export potentials as well, to look at developing raw products, raw produce, or adding value to foodstuffs, or developing the services that are needed to wrap around the development of a strong agri-food sector. And to develop a really good business and to take it either through launch or through scaling, an entrepreneur really needs to be very clear about what their business idea is. What is the product or service? What is the value chain and the market channels and the cost structures for the business? And we found that talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, not just in Africa, but elsewhere as well, people can be really good at selling the story, the dream of the business, but actually going into detail about what the business is, the core fundamentals of the business is really important, particularly if you're starting to think about the need for investment. So we developed with the African Management Institute the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course, which is a unique course. It's firmly embedded in the agri-food sector, in the African agri-food sector. It's a course which will take you through the process that is driven by the business canvas model, which is something that you'll be introduced to, and will ultimately furnish you with a high quality business plan, which you can use both in terms of developing operations, to look at investment, to look at your channels, which will enable your business to grow. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a business plan. It is the document that clearly outlines what you need to do to launch or grow your business. So the course itself, we aim to be able to provide this course over the next 10 weeks. It's an online course, and the course itself is very much driven by your own needs as a learner. So the idea is that you engage with the course through the dashboard, which many of you will already have seen. And you are able to actually start viewing the materials immediately. And the course is built up of a number of different core elements. The course itself is based across a number of modules, and I'll talk about those in a few more minutes. But each module basically includes some videos or audios to set the scene. We introduce a fictional case study, which we call Trident Fish Farms, which is a fictional but based on figures from East Africa of a group of young agripreneurs who want to start up a above ground fish farm, and looking at the added value products that they can develop from that as well. And using this case study, we can take you through a whole range of exercises and quizzes and use of tools that will enable you to reach the end goal of having this fantastic high quality business plan at the end of the course. This means that the course can either be as short or as long as you wish. We expect everybody to finish by mid-September, at which stage we are pleased to offer the opportunity for you to submit your business plan to us for review. And so every business plan that we receive, we will provide written feedback to that person or to that business team, because a business plan is a living document. It's never finished. And that offer, I think, again, is a very valuable opportunity, as your business plan will be reviewed by a panel of very highly skilled people based here. One thing I should mention is that the course is online, but it has been developed to take into account the challenges of data access and bandwidth across the different countries of Africa. And so what we try to do is make sure that everything that you see on the course, whether it's a video or an audio transcript of the video, if you can't access the video, or a written transcript, can be downloaded to your smartphone or to your tablet or to your laptop, so that you can actually work on everything outside of a broadband Wi-Fi environment. So that you can actually, if you can access an internet cafe with Wi-Fi or something similar, you can download the materials that you need, so that you can actually then work at home where you might not have access to a high quality Wi-Fi signal. So as you can see on the screen that's come up, we're just giving you an idea of some of the resources which you will download through the course. And as you can see, there are a whole range of tools, case studies, lesson summaries, audios and activities to enable you to take charge of your learning and to be challenged through a whole range of different medium to enable you to complete a high quality business plan that we've already talked about.
So the course is structured in 10 modules. That's why we're setting up a webinar each week. And we do recommend following one module per week. That is our recommended schedule. But as Stephen said, if you want to do it faster, then that's really up to you. So we're going to now.
So what we would like to do is just show you the course introduction video from the course itself.
Hi, Anne and Stephen. I think there is a problem with the video. We cannot see the video.
Yes, we intended just to show that amount. Hopefully you got the sound anyway. We need to work out how to show the video as well. We'll do that by next time.
Sorry.
Yes, if you send the link, we will include that in the materials that will be going online. So to everybody that is listening, you will get an email with a link to this webinar and a link to the video.
And the video is in the course materials anyway, so we'll see it there as well. Okay.
So the idea of the course is that by the end of it, as I've mentioned, you'll have a high quality business plan that has been developed by you for the business idea that you have, so that you'll have the opportunity to identify what business opportunities are available to you, what channels you need in terms of your own supply chain, to look at what you will be able to do in terms of marketing your product or services, to look at the financial structures of the course in terms of your startup costs or upscaling costs, looking at your revenue streams, but also looking at your investment needs as well. And the financial section is really important to any business that wants to grow and develop. The course is interactive, as we've already mentioned, and as you can hopefully see, we have got a webinar series which is there to support and enhance and enable your own engagement with the program. As we've already said, the course itself, we think, takes about 10 weeks to do. There's about 3 hours of learning for each module, which really is there to enable you to take the time to engage with the course materials, but then apply it to your own business environment, to look at the context that you operate within, both looking at the environmental challenges, the community structure, the legal regulations that you have to work to, as well as the markets and the ecosystems within which you operate. And we really do firmly believe that it's important to take the time to really explore those issues very, very deeply to enable you to come up with a very personalized and individual business plan.
And in each module, you have templates which you will use to construct your final business plan. And each template, you have an example filled in for the Trident fish farm, including, for example, in the financials and the business canvas, the value proposition canvas as well. So this helps you in stimulating ideas to when you're completing your own templates.
Now, if you have a pressing need for a business plan and you have the time, you are welcome to try and go through the course much more quickly than 10 weeks. But ideally, give yourself the time to do this properly, because it's worthwhile doing. And the quality from our own experience of business plans that come out of a business that have taken the time to engage with the course over several weeks generally is far higher than business plans which have been developed very, very quickly through this course process. And what we will do is each week at this time, right through the next 10 weeks, we will be offering a webinar like this. Now, this is a slightly unusual one. It's the introduction, as you can imagine. But for the weeks following, each webinar is based around the topic that we would expect you to be at in terms of the course flow. And each session will involve guest speakers. It will involve examples of small businesses that have arisen from the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course previously. And it will look at some of the core concepts within that element of the course. Now, one question that's been put to me has been, do you have to complete all of the webinars as well as the online course? And the simple answer to that is no. We encourage you to engage with the webinars, but we recognize that people are busy. We've all got other factors that we have to take into account when we're scheduling our own time. So we encourage people to engage with webinars, if possible live, but we understand that not everybody can do that. We encourage people to access the webinars as a stream or download at a later stage if you've not been able to watch the live one. And we really do hope that you can engage with webinars and start using the question and answer function, as some people already are, to let us know what is happening in terms of the course that we're doing and what you need to enable you to fulfill the course. So that's, I think, is everything about the course introduction to this point. Sorry, I'm just seeing some questions are coming through at the moment. Could we go to the next slide?
Yes. Oops.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. So what I would like to do now is each week we're going to have a guest speaker. And the speakers that we invite come from a whole range of different backgrounds. Some will be from Europe, many will be from different parts of Africa. Some will have very localized experience. Some will have a much broader strategic role or vision. And today we are really, really grateful to be able to welcome one of our close friends and colleagues, Stephanie Galatova from the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization. And Stephanie, I'm very, very grateful for your participation today. And I would really like to invite you to say a few words about how you see the development of the agri-food sector and entrepreneurship within that across Africa. So thank you for joining us, Stephanie.
No, thank you very much, and it's a privilege to be invited to participate in this webinar. And I'd just like to say that currently I'm based in FAO headquarters, Food and Agriculture Organization headquarters in Rome, but I have spent like close to 20 years in Africa, so I am quite familiar with, you know, some of the issues regarding agribusiness and entrepreneurship on the continent. So thank you so much. And first of all, I would just like to underscore the importance of agribusiness in Africa, because the agricultural sector remains the backbone of the economy in most African countries. And creating sustainable employment and income generation for young people is a top priority for all African governments. And the agricultural sector definitely provides the best opportunity to do this. So as FAO, we receive requests from governments all the time. You know, how do we do this? How do we provide employment and income for young people? And what we always advise African governments is that the agricultural sector does offer huge opportunities, more so than any other economic sector. It can provide gainful employment and generate incomes for a really significant number of young people. There are other sectors, definitely, that can provide those opportunities, but not in the number that the agricultural sector can provide. But the potential of the agricultural sector has not really been exploited so far. Now, unfortunately, agriculture in Africa has often not had a very good image. It's been frequently associated with smallholder farming, so traditional, labor-intensive, outdated in terms of production, processing, and marketing. And this image has really deterred young professional people, you know, people like yourselves, you know, who've been to college and university, who've got degrees, in engaging in the sector, because who wants to be wielding a hoe on a small farm? But there are great examples of successful African enterprises that have overcome these kinds of stereotypes, and they've created modern and efficient and competitive agribusinesses. Unfortunately, there are still not enough of these, but FAO and other UN agencies have really reaffirmed their support to assist these kinds of small-scale agribusinesses to establish themselves, to grow and flourish through various capacity building measures. And I have to say, for FAO, this is really a top priority, particularly under the new DG, Director General, who's really emphasized, support to the private sector. So basically, we as FAO are absolutely delighted to partner with the Agripreneurship Alliance, because I think we share absolutely the same vision. And I think that the Go Getters program is a unique opportunity for all of you who've registered on this course to gain the knowledge and the expertise to establish and grow your enterprises into successful businesses. So please take advantage, please take full advantage of this unique opportunity. So on behalf of FAO, I'm really delighted to be associated with this initiative, and I would love to get feedback and updates on how this program is helping to improve your businesses. And just for the future terms, so we would definitely like to establish a long-term partnership with the Agripreneurship Alliance, and also to identify critical areas where we can provide support to build small-scale agri-enterprises into successful businesses that contribute to sustainable employment and incomes for young people, and also at the national level to promote overall economic growth. So I really am interested in following this program, and I hope you will all participate and benefit from this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I think it's amazing that a large organization like the FAO is really taking up the challenge of supporting the agri-food sector, and particularly helping release the potential that young entrepreneurs have across Africa in developing their communities, creating great businesses, but creating a sustainable agri-food system which will hopefully provide good, safe, nutritious and accessible food to the peoples across Africa and beyond. So thank you.
If anybody has any questions for Stephanie, please post them on the Q&A, and then Stephanie will be able to answer them.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Okay. So the next thing that we want to talk about is learning online. It can be a challenge, and we recognize that. So we do have some tips on what you can actually do to try and make your learning journey more fruitful for yourself, and with the end goal of developing that business plan. So, Anne.
Okay, thanks, Steve. I'd just like to mention that I've also been an entrepreneur myself, and actually 2 of my 3 children are also entrepreneurs. So I've been exactly where you are, starting up a business and then growing it. And it's a very exciting journey, but it's a challenging journey. And we really hope that this course is going to help you in that journey. Now, online courses are particularly challenging to do, and so we've got a series of tips on how to make the most out of it. So number 1, be really clear on your goal. Your goal is to build a really great business plan. Or if you're already running your business, it's how you can really renew and reevaluate the business. COVID-19 is bringing big challenges to all of us. It's changing many things dramatically. So through this course, we can really step by step reevaluate how you can adapt your business in light of all the challenges from COVID-19. Number 2, you need to treat the online course like a job, like a real tasks that you need to do. It's not just something to leave to 11, 12 o'clock at night, but really make a study plan, manage your time carefully, and have dedicated study time blocks. So set aside time each week to do follow the course materials, fill in the templates, and then you'll get the most out of this course. If possible, find a quiet place and eliminate distractions. Then break down your tasks into different elements. If you can't have one block, have short times where you want to achieve one particular task. It can be a very lonely thing, starting your own business. So really use this opportunity to connect with others. You can make use of the chat on the platform, and during the coming days, we'll be setting up a WhatsApp group where you can exchange together, and you can also ask questions. You're going to learn as much from each other as you will from us and the course materials. So make the most of this. And you have the possibilities also creating a team with other participants to share your progress. The course content requires you to find a buddy, and you can either find this buddy through the platform itself, another participant, but we really would encourage you to find somebody local that can advise you and can be a discussion partner and review your final business plan before you submit it. And then number 10, try to beat the deadlines. Don't leave the assignments to the last minute. It's only going to add stress, and in that case, you won't do your best. But the course, we had a question in the Q&A about when the course will finish. Well, as Stephen mentioned, it's going to finish mid-September. The last webinar will be September the 9th. But you can follow the materials at any time. Nothing closes down. You can go back and relook at another module if you wish. But as I say, we would recommend, if you can, do one module a week, follow the webinar, and then on to the next one. And then, because then it leads you step by step to build your very solid business plan. Okay?
Thank you, Anne. So we're still getting a lot of questions coming through. I'm going to pass one question on to Stephanie, if I may. We have had a question from Nigeria, which is, what does FAO mean?
So FAO is the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. And basically, it's a member organization. We have 190 odd members. So these are like governments from around the world. So basically, FAO is global. It's operating in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, all over the world. And so basically, FAO responds to the requests and the demands of its members, which are the country governments, on supporting their efforts in developing the agricultural and agri-food sectors. Yeah, that's what FAO stands for. I hope that answers the question.
I'm sure it does. Your answer was very clear, Stephanie, and I do recognize that I kind of threw you a ball there, and you caught it impeccably, so thank you.
Yeah, we have another question also to you, Stephanie, which says, first as a comment, we aim as we learn also to help our young African brothers and sisters first have a positive perception on agriculture, but also help keeping their ideas in practice. So they're asking, how does the FAO help us do this?
Okay, so We have worked very closely, or we are working very closely with the African Union Commission, which basically has the mandate for agricultural development or transformation in Africa. And so we basically work towards their goals and ideas. And I don't know to what extent you're aware of, you know, the various declarations that have been made under the African Union, the CAADP, which is like a commitment for all countries to contribute a certain amount to agricultural development. And then later on, the Malabo Declaration, which again is looking at improved livelihoods for people through transformation of the agricultural sector. So we basically work with the African Union and also with other, you know, African organizations and institutions in terms of, well, a variety of aspects. So definitely like the production and productivity aspects, but also very much in terms of the agribusiness sector. So you know, how do you develop the agribusiness sector in terms of industrialization, in terms of processing, in terms of market access? And so one of our priority areas is really to work with small and medium scale agro enterprises who are trying to do that, you know, to process Africa's raw products, raw commodities into value added products that can be marketed on domestic markets, but also internationally. And that requires a lot of different capacity building measures, you know, food processing, how to improve the quality and the safety of the products, but also in terms, very much in terms of the business aspect. So how do you develop a business strategy? How do you identify your markets? How do you develop a business plan? How do you do your financial management? So yeah, a lot of different things. But of course, we can't do that all by ourselves. So that's why we need really good partnerships like with the Agripreneurship Alliance. So I hope that answers the question.
It does indeed. Thank you, Stephanie. We are starting to get quite a few questions coming through, which is fantastic. We're going to try and answer some of these as they're coming through. If we don't have time to answer everyone, we'll make sure that we get answers to people.
Both Jackson and Marcus are asking about the chat function. Well, there is a chat function in the platform, but we will be setting up a WhatsApp group to enable you to ask questions and exchange experience. We've selected WhatsApp because in our experience, that is the most widely used, that you know, people can easily access. So that's going to be the supplementary platform for you. And as I say, it will be set up in the next few days.
But we do encourage you to use the community chat wall, as Anne says, on the dashboard of the course once you've registered, because this is a very good way to actually engage immediately with people on the course, but also is a good way of, if you've not been able to access or find a buddy to support your learning within your own community, we can obviously encourage you to post onto the community wall within the dashboard to actually advertise the fact that you're looking for a buddy, the actual type of sector that you're working with, and hopefully build relationships within that. One of the key things that we know is important to be an entrepreneur, and we both talk from a bit of experience, is that the ecosystem that you work in, the support network that you develop, is vital. You need to have a whole range of different types of people around you who can offer challenge, support, skills, knowledge, and experience that you may not actually have yourself. And we have had one question from Adwala, which is, does an agripreneur necessarily need to be a marketeer? And the answer is no. You need to understand it, but we don't. Being an entrepreneur means that you are in many ways a generalist who's got a passion for a particular area. And so you need to be able to understand the different things that a business does, create a value chain, have distribution channels, be able to reach out to your market, manage your finances, but we may not necessarily have all of those skills ourselves, but we need to be able to recognize that those are important to make our businesses successful, and then how do we find people who can help us with those?
Mm-hmm. But all the young agripreneurs who followed our courses, I don't think any of them have been marketeers, but they're learning the marketing skills. Then we have Nociata, who's asking if we're going to have assignments at the end of the course, and are there certificates of attendance that are going to be given to successful participants? Well, during the course, there are quizzes. They're not exams, but they're just to stimulate you and to improve your learning process. The final assignment is to submit your business plan. And as Stephen already said, if you submit your business plan, then you will have a review by experts who will give suggestions on how it can be improved further. At the end of the course, you can download a certificate automatically from the platform, and this will be a certificate of attendance.
Chi-Chi has also...
And sorry, Stephen, sorry, could I just come in for just to follow up on what you actually said about the various areas of expertise?
Please do, Stephanie.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, thank you. I think that was a really, really good comment, because you know, I think when you're setting up a business, you definitely don't have all the different areas of expertise that it takes to make a successful business. So from my experience, it's really important to identify good people that you can work with, because, you know, there will be people who have technical expertise in terms of, for example, food processing and, you know, the quality and safety aspects. There'll be people who are good in finance. There'll be people who are good in business management. There'll be people who are good in marketing. So I think it's really important to you know, to understand that one person doesn't have all those skills, and you really need to assemble a good team that has all those different aspects of skills that are needed to run a successful business. And I think that's something that's not always recognized, because a lot of small businesses rely on one person, and that one person may have skills in one area but not in the others. So I would advise, in setting up a business or in growing your business, you know, make sure that you get all the relevant areas of expertise from all these different aspects, because one person can't do it all. Thanks.
Completely,
Yeah,
Stephanie.
absolutely. And there's one of the modules is just about this, bringing together the team, not only the team of people working directly with you, but the partners you need, suppliers, etc. So it's really important to have the right team around you. So thank you, Stephanie, for those comments.
Yeah.
So we also have some questions coming in about certification. And Patricia, if you can hear us, I'm hoping that you can come in with some support on how to answer these questions. So Andile and Charles are both asking about certification. Do we get a certificate at the end of the course? Who validates these certificates? And how can those certificates be used for activities such as fundraising?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So yes, we do have certificates at the end of the course, but we do also emphasize that the whole intent of the course is not so much to end up with a certificate, but really ideally is to end up with that marketable business plan, as Steve mentioned earlier on in the presentation. And so we encourage participants to go through it knowing, with the intent that at the end of it, they want to have a very solid business plan that they can then go ahead and approach funding organizations and institutions to assist them with the funding to support their business idea. So I want to just encourage all participants not to think of it as your traditional learning where you get a certificate at the end of it and you're happy about it. It's really the value of the course is really in getting that solid business plan that you can then use for funding. And I think Steve and Anne can attest to the fact that for previous participants who've taken this seriously and ended up with that business plan, they have been able to get funding as a result of having a solid business plan. So that is how I would answer that question.
Oh, that's great, Patricia. Thank you.
But of course, you can use a certificate in your funding applications.
So this also brings me to an earlier question, which was, is there funding available for people who complete this course? And I am sorry, but there is no funding available for people who complete this course from the Agripreneurship Alliance. The offer that we're making to you is really valuable. It's the opportunity to participate in the Entrepreneurship and Agribusiness course to help you develop a high quality business plan, which is essential for gaining investment for your business. We will be going through the financial structures, and without having a very clear idea of what your financial basis is of your business, when you're talking to an investor or a bank manager about a loan, or an investing angel, for example, you need to be able to talk about things like profit and loss. What investment do you need? When is going to be the point that you break even in your business? And so we help you develop those figures using the example of Trident Fish Farm, providing you with a financial template which you can fill in yourself, and we'll give you that information. We also, towards the end of the course, talk about pitching. How do you actually present your business idea? How do you shade the messages that you have to different audiences, whether it's an investor or whether it's a potential client? So this is what really we're giving you the opportunity for. And the course really is something that the more you put into the course, you take the time, you actually apply the learning that you have to your own context, the ecosystem that you work within, the business environment that you work within, the better results you will have at the end of it in terms of a high quality document. Sorry, we're just going through, there's lots of questions coming through.
Yeah.
I also have a question here from Chichi, which is about how long is the material available for on the course and how long can you access it for? So we are looking at this course being run through to the end of September. You go through the course in your own time. We recommend that one module per week is the best way to do this, and the materials that you can access through that. You can also obviously download a lot of material, and once you've downloaded that, you have access to it. So we're trying to make the course as accessible as possible to everybody.
And we have another 2 questions for Stephanie. So, so this is Tijana from Nigeria. Can the representative FAO list the various opportunities available to young farmers and agribusiness startups in our country and how to access them? I think they really need to go to the FAO website for that, but maybe you can say a few words, Stephanie, about the materials available on the FAO site.
Yeah, I think actually the FAO country office is a very good starting point. So I would encourage people to actually contact the FAO country office because they have the most relevant information with respect to what's actually happening at the country level, whether it's in Nigeria or anywhere else. Now, if it comes to more general materials, then obviously they can contact us in headquarters, and we do have a whole bunch of materials, but those materials are more generic. They're not country specific. So I would really encourage people to first of all contact their country office. That's the first port of call. And actually, I just want to say that we have a new FAO country representative just starting in Nigeria. I think he's going to be in post within the next couple of weeks, probably. So I think this is a really good opportunity, you know, to engage with the FAO country office, find out what they can offer, and then obviously the FAO country office will contact us in headquarters to for us to provide additional support and information and knowledge products that may be required. So that would be my advice on that.
Okay, great, Stephanie, thank you. We've got a few other questions about from Jackson about managing workers in an enterprise. Lola is asking about branding. She's saying that branding products is very expensive outside Nigeria. So I think these questions we will cover in the relevant webinar for that module. And if there's other questions that we don't manage to answer today, we'll send you the answer to those.
Yep.
So I think I'll hand back to Stephen.
Thank you. So we were going to talk about registration today as well, but we did promise that this webinar would last for 1 hour, and amazingly we're already there. The time has flown by. What I would like to offer is that not everybody who has attended this webinar has registered for the course yet. Please do so. There is a how to register guide available on the Go-Getters platform. If you have any difficulties registering for the course, logging into the AMI platform or activating the course itself, please do reach out to me, and you can find my email to do that. We may also offer, I just need to look at some time commitments, but I may also be able to offer a very short webinar at the end of this week or the end of next week, just to go through live registration process, just to help anybody who is having final problems with the access. The one thing I will mention about the registration process to the course is that when you're choosing usernames, when you're choosing passwords, when you're inputting activation codes, everything is case sensitive. So you need to be very accurate about repeating your username, for example, making sure that you don't capitalize when you use small case, or putting in extra spaces, for example. So that is one common problem that we do have, that people are coming to us with. I'm going to close the webinar. Can I just say that I am really indebted to everybody who's contributed to this webinar today. I would really like to thank Stephanie from the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, Patricia Mayner from African Management Institute, and Dixon Naftali, obviously from Go-Getters and Generation Africa. But I would also like to thank everybody for joining this webinar today and for contributing with your questions and your insights that you've shared. I think that the Go-Getters Agripreneur Prize of 2020, supported by the Entrepreneurship and Agribusiness course, is a really great opportunity to create a strong, vibrant entrepreneurial culture which can impact on every country within Africa. And I'm very proud that the Entrepreneurship and Agribusiness course is being able to be offered to the Go-Getters community, and that the Agripreneurship Alliance is able to play a small role in supporting the learning journeys that everybody is on. So thank you so much for your time. I would just like to mention one last thing, that this webinar cannot also have been developed without the kind support of our co-funder, the Swedish International Agricultural Network Initiative. And I know that Siani will be joining us in the last webinar of this series as well. So thank you to them, although they weren't able to join us today. But thank you so much. If you have any problems registering, please reach out to me. And I look forward to talking with you on the dashboard of the Entrepreneurship in Agribusiness course, and I look forward to speaking with you, as my colleague Anne Roland does, at the next webinar next week.
Okay, so good luck with the first module and see you next week. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.